Picture this, you're a young guitar player and you pay $70 to go and see Steve Vai, and then you realize it's Steve Vai with the band King Crimson playing their album from the 1980s that should stay in the 1980s. And now you feel lied to and you realize, well, maybe that's why the tickets were so cheap. Well, welcome to my commentary video on the King Crimson concert I saw last night. Okay, so I moved the camera to a different angle because the last angle I had made me look like I was wearing an eye patch. And I am not a pirate, okay? Just because I smell like one, that doesn't mean I'm a pirate. That means I'm Indian, and that's offensive. Also, now you have a basis of where my beard covers my double chin. So there's that. Enjoy. King Crimson. I'd never actually listened to their discography at all. It was just completely new to me. This was my first impression of King Crimson. This. So, that was atrocious. The sound was terrible, and what's weird is the phone actually picked up more instruments than my ears did because it has a sound blocking thing. The volume was way too loud in that small venue for anyone to understand exactly what was going on. And here's the thing is, if you want to show off technique, because King Crimson is very technically competent, as I found out after, that wall of distorted sound, I went back and I listened to the album that they were supposedly playing live or attempting to play on Spotify. It was a half-decent album. Not something I would consider more like background noise for if I feel like playing Doom in a more lo-fi setting. Prog rock is great, and I remember questioning my love for prog after coming out of that concert. Do I really love prog? Or is the band Yes just not really prog? Or is Led Zeppelin not really prog? People won't consider Led Zeppelin prog, but they are, okay? They are. Kashmir, that's prog rock. Now let's compare what I heard based on the footage I've shown you from the concert, and let's take a look at what those songs sound like on Spotify. See, that's because the audio mixer is engaged and the producer actually, did his job. What they need, what I would advise to King Crimson, not that they're gonna say this, get an audio mixer. You'll be able to show off your technique a whole lot more. And you'll be able to hear Steve Vai's shredding. That was the saddest part of this entire thing, is I watched Steve Vai shred and heard nothing. I'd rather have no mouth than have to scream, okay? That is not that it would have mattered anyway, because, even if I screamed, the music was so loud I wouldn't have been able to tell or hear myself. It's like a roller coaster, man. Don't do that to me. Technique was on point, okay? From what I could tell and from what I could see, there was a section where the drummer had his own solo, and that was very cool until the bass player started playing. Because I think they purposefully tried to do like this gent thing off beat. Yeah, there's a difference between the way that these guys did it with what I could assume to be no click track versus the way Animals as Leaders does it. Animals as Leaders, I'm sorry, they're better at it than you are. Just practice. Pure and simple. It's a good thing. Take it from someone who needs to practice. Now, I'm in no way qualified to critique these people. They are 10 times the musician that I will ever be. I'm kind of just a wannabe. I like prog, but I don't really write it, you know? Most of what I've written can be classified as, it's abundantly clear that his friends like Blink-182, and so does he. That's the extent of what I write. But I can speak from what tickles my ears, and what tickles my ears is good production. And I suppose that just wasn't there. At least, or the venue was just really small, and what you engineered it for was designed for more of an arena type setting, which totally understand. You know, it was like, to me, let me just give you a demonstration of what this sounded like, okay? Let's reach over. We're gonna flick this sucker on. Okay, we're gonna turn it down because that's... It's not in tune, but that doesn't matter because this is what, okay, let me switch the angle here because I'm filming this on my phone because I'm broke. If I engaged this, okay, let's not even have drums. We're not even gonna have drums. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just make a nice little crispy tapping intro, and this is what they sounded like. That was terrible. Shout out to my loop pedal. They didn't even use the pentatonic scale. It's familiar. It's comforting. Yeah, it's safe to say it wasn't the best. However, one of the best things about the mix on Spotify is that you can hear more of what's going on. And I know there's probably a couple of boomers that might watch this, especially because most King Crimson fans are in fact boomers. They go, you're finally, a child knows what it's like to not be, not want to have the music too loud. Excuse me. However, I don't turn the music loud to be annoying. I turn it up, especially in my earbuds, so that I can hear the fullness that the song has to offer. That is me personally. I don't know what other teenagers do. I can't really speak for them, but I can speak for me. And that's the primary reason why I choose to turn my music up. And so I appreciated hearing more of the technique. The thing is, it brings up a few questions for me, technique-wise. Does technique mean anything if it isn't musical? Because we can have all the technique that we want, but if it's not connecting with people, or connecting with as many people as it could, is that something that you want? Now, obviously, it's abundantly clear these bandmates love playing, this kind of music, and I know Steve Vai is a technical god, and songs like Tender Surrender are great examples of that technique going into something more musical. But to me, it was very technique-y, and I think music is supposed to make us feel something. This is also just my opinion. And there are more technical things that I enjoy, like, the band Polyphia and Animals as Leaders. But to me, there's more of a musical element that makes me feel things. right? To me, this was just, it sounded like two robots passively aggressively fighting each other. No missiles, just words. And I live in a house with two women, so that's, and their family, so that I get enough of that already. And they're not robots, and they have feelings, so it's worse. Another question this brings up is, do people choose to like this music or pretend to like this music to seem different? Because I did that with pop punk and I realized I really wasn't that different. There's a lot of kids who connect to that style of music. Because I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. You know? And that's, like many other fellow teenage dirtbags, that's, something that we all connect on. And there's an angst to that can relate to all of us, and therefore that's why we listen to pop punk and Billie Eilish and stuff like that. Another question this brings up is progressive music really progressive? Because, progressive would imply that progress has been made, right? And if progress is more technique really progress if we're not putting it into something that's more musical? I'm not even sure what my opinion is on that. On one hand, people who are like, it's only about feel aren't really technically very good. Some people could barely call them musicians. Whereas on the other hand, people who have more technical ability, they get so far into technique that they lose sight of what music might or could be. Just to provoke a thought. Also, a dude brought a date to that concert. He brought a date to a prog concert and got a kiss at the end. I watched this take place right in front of me. Okay? That's insane. That man is winning at life. Dude, that's awesome. That's to end on a happy note. Now I'm gonna go and take care of the pirate smell and shower. Peace.